Transformation of sentences. This is the fifth topic of your state board, that is based on transformation of sentences. Topic is degree of comparison. At first, you have to understand what are degrees. Actually, degrees are based on adjectives. It consists three kind. First one is positive, second one is comparative, and third one is superlative. Positive is counted for one person, and comparative, there is a comparison held between two different person using than. For example, good, better, best. Better is the comparative degree and best is the superlative, and superlative is the good for all. At the time of using superlative degree, we have to use the before that particular superlative degree adjective. Hope you will understand positive, comparative, and superlative. Positive for one, superlative for two, having comparison, and so positive for one person, comparative for two-person, using than, and superlative for so many person, superior to all or worse to all. So let us understand through the examples. My brother is fatter than my sister. My brother is fatter than my sister. It is comparative sentence, so you have to make it positive. My sister is not as fat as my brother. As you know that only structure has been changed here without changing the sense. The next sentence is my sister is as wise as I. I am not wiser than my sister. It's a comparative. In the comparative sentence, we have to use second comparative uh, adjective, wiser. In the board examination, you will find what changes you have to done. Either you will given positive or a comparative or superlative, and it is said that you have to change the degree of degree of this particular sentence. Then you are free, you would be free to change from affirmative to negative, affirmative to comparative, positive to affirmative, positive to comparative or superlative. So let us move further. That is, Hamlet is best tragedy in English. This is the superlative, and you have to make it as first comparative, then positive. Hamlet is the best tragedy in English. It's a superlative because best is here. Hamlet is better than any other tragedy in English. Better. That is why it is this structure has been used at the time of making comparative. If we make it positive, no other this structure will follow. No other tragedy is in English is so good. No other or so. This is the structure to make comparative to superlative to positive. No other tragedy is in English is so good as Hamlet. Let us move the fourth sentence. Karma is one of the best stories in this collection. It is superlative best. Karma is better than most other stories in this collection. It's a comparative. Very few stories in this collection are so good as Karma. It is positive. Let us move to the fifth sentence. He is not the best boy in the class. Best. After looking best, you can understand it is superlative because best boy, best, good, better, best. Some other boy in the class are at least as good as he. It is positive. He is not better than some other boys in the class. It's a comparative, better. He is not one of the best boys in my class. Superlative. Some boys of my class are better than he. Comparative because it is better is used here, and some boys with the some boys comparison held between he is not a good he is not so good as some other boys of my class. Here is positive. Next one is it is easier to preach than to practice. It's a comparative because easier. It is not so easy to practice as to preach. It's a positive. My mother loves all her daughters equally well. It's a positive because here is loves. My mother does not love any of her daughter better than the others. It's a comparative because of better. I know her tricks quite as well as you do. It's a positive. You don't know her tricks better than I do. Better. It's a comparative. You are not the worst. Worst. That is why it's a superlative. The other are worse than you. Comparison held between two. That is why comparative. He wrote a large as he could. It is positive sentence. He did not wrote became did not write larger than he could. Larger comparative form. That is why comparative. It was the most beautiful language in the world. Superlative. Most. It was more beautiful than any other language in the world. Same structure follow at the time of changing superlative to comparative because more most became more, and if you change this superlative into positive, no other language in the world was so beautiful as it. Let us move ahead to the next sentence. It was all much more tempting than the rules of participles. More comparative. The rule of participles are not as much tempting as it. It's a positive. Their father are as tired as they are. Their father are as tired as they are. Positive. They are not. They are not more tired than their father. It's a comparative. Then comparison held between a father and their. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me. It's a comparative because deeper. Before the stark terror did not take so deep a hold on me as it did now. Positive. You do preach worse than a person. You do preach worse than a person. Positive. A person does not preach as bad as you. Worse than a person. It's a comparative, sorry. In there is a correction. Change it. In the 16th sentence, there is a uh, comparative. The you do preach worse than a person. It is comparative. And a person does not preach as bad as you. There is positive degree. So change the this one. In the 16th sentence, you do preach worse than a person. इधर कंपैरेटिव लिखना है आपने 16 में, ये चेंज किया गया है पॉजिटिव में. अ पर्सन डज नॉट प्रीच एज बैड एज यू. इट्स अ पॉजिटिव. नाउ गेट आउट ऑफ हियर एज फास्ट एज यू कैन. पॉजिटिव. Now get out here not faster than you can. It's a comparative because of faster. The work was done better than possible. Comparative. The work was done as well as as possible. It's a positive degree and it have to turn comparative. The work was not done better than possible. Comparative. I decided to take the subway from Grand Central because it is faster than the bus. Due to faster, it is comparative degree. I decided to take the subway from Grand Central because the bus is not so good, so fast as it was. It is positive. There were fewer ticket windows, fewer comparative. There were not so few ticket windows as there are here. Positive. Hope you will understand